UFC 274 has just received its first emission with Michelle Waterson, who fights in the strawweight division, pulling out of the fight against Amanda Ribas. The fight was supposed to be held on May 7th, but the strawweight veteran has pulled out, saying that her injury, if not given enough rest, has the potential to turn into a career-ending one, and now Ribas waits for her next opponent. In today's video, we'll be discussing Michelle Waterson's career-ending injury, along with other UFC news. Stay tuned. Waterson pulls out of UFC 274. The fight between Ribas and Waterson has been a long time coming and just seems to elude the viewers at the very last moment. With the fight originally scheduled for UFC 257 in January 2021, and despite more than a year of postponement, the fight remains a far-off dream. And so on the 7th of May, it remains to be seen if Ribas will indeed feature, and if yes, then against who. MMA Fighting, a popular website keeping track of all news regarding the worldwide MMA phenomenon, confirmed that the veteran had been removed from the UFC 274 roster. This matchup has been previously also booked for the UFC Columbus held in March, but it was again postponed due to the very same reason given for the pullout, a potential career-ending injury. While Ribas was originally supposed to face off against Waterson at UFC 257, she instead ended up fighting against Marina Rodriguez, who was filling in as the veteran's replacement. Rodriguez, who is currently the third best strawweight fighter according to rankings, finished off Ribas with a technical knockout, TKO, in the second round. Ribas bounced back from her loss at the hands of Rodriguez at UFC 267 with a unanimous decision over Verna Jandiroba in October 2021. Ribas, with a fine MMA record of 11-2, is currently waiting to see who will be filling in for Waterson this time around as she chases a second consecutive victory. Starting off her UFC career, she went on a 4 consecutive matches win streak. This streak involved subjecting Mackenzie Dern to her first loss in MMA as a whole, and handing a crushing defeat to Paige Van Zandt, who was making her final appearance in the UFC. The unbeaten streak ended at the hands of Waterson replacement Rodriguez. She did not remain down for too long though, and bounced back with a unanimous decision win at UFC 267, and as the situation stands right now, she is 9th in the top 10 list of contenders in the division. Waterson, with an impeccable record of 18-9 in MMA, had 3 consecutive victories before she went on a run of 4 UFC appearances with just 1 victory. She lost via decision victories to Carla Esparza, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and to Rodriguez. Her most recent appearance resulted in a nail-biting loss to Rodriguez. Rodriguez got the better of her through a 5-round decision, unlike the typical 3-round decisions. She has, in the 2 years since 2020, only pulled off 1 win, a split decision 5-round win over Angela Hill, and although she may be a dismal 1-3 in her last 4 matchups, it is notable to mention that all of her other defeats came against former champions of the division. The headline event at UFC 274 is going to be a thrilling lightweight title bout, contested between defending champion Charles Oliveira and former interim champ Justin Gaethje. Injury details. Waterson is desperate to step into the octagon and fight again, but she has put those hopes on hold while she tries to heal from an injury that may turn out to be career-ending if she rushes her return. The Karate Hottie was all set for an octagon return against Ribas at UFC Fight Night Blades and Daukaus. Unfortunately, she had to pull out of the fight night with an undisclosed serious injury, which led to the fight being postponed to the 7th of May pay-per-view UFC 274 event. However, recent developments suggest that it is very much possible that the new date could itself be in jeopardy as well after a video was posted by Waterson on her Instagram. In the video, she can be seen apologizing to her fans and the fans of UFC and explaining why she had to withdraw from the event as a whole. In every other way, she was not very forthcoming with the details about the nature of the injury, nor did she give an estimate of the time it would take her to heal fully and be ready for the octagon. According to her, she hopes that her break from fighting is a short one and does not keep her out for a longer while. She also reflected how it was heartbreaking for her to not even be able to train because she had been looking forward to fighting against Ribas. She said that because it's a fight both of them were looking forward to, she really hopes to have the fight sometime in the future. She went on to stress the importance of taking a break to tend to her injury. Other UFC news. Jon Jones has direct shot at interim heavyweight title. With the current UFC heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou out, injured until nearly 2023, it has created a situation ideal for the creation of an interim title. Ngannou got injured the days leading up to his title defense against Cyril Gane Khan at UFC 270 in June of 2022. He has recently also undergone a surgery to remedy the problem, and recuperation is expected to take nearly a year. The Predator's injury could lead to the creation of the interim title for a second time during his reign at the top, and heading the list of potential title challengers in former light heavyweight champion Jon Jones, who, according to reports, might be making his heavyweight debut in July. Dana White, while speaking on the matter, said that even though the UFC had not thought of something like this yet, it does appear to be something that can very well be considered. He did say that they would hold off on a decision about an interim title until they have a much better idea of what Ngannou's going to do. And if he does indeed decide to take a break for a year, White has given his blessing to Jones having a shot at the title in his heavyweight debut only. Jones has not been in action in the UFC in more than 2 years, and had surrendered his light heavyweight champion title way back in the summer of 2020. Since he surrendered his title, Jon "Bones" Jones has been hinting at a return to action with a heavyweight division debut. He has been releasing training videos that hint he will be making the jump up one division, but there has been no date or opponent announced so far. Others at the top of the contenders list include Stipe Miocic, a former heavyweight champion who has been linked with a fight against Bones in the past. There's also the current third-ranked Tai Tuivasa at 265 pounds as a worthy contender, which basically gives the promotion a couple of strong options. Alberto Del Rio reportedly lands announcer deal with UFC. According to a recent report, Alberto Del Rio will be featured as a commentator for the upcoming UFC fight night Volkov and Aspinall in the O2 Arena in London. The fight night will be headlined by a bout between Alexander Volkov and Tom Aspinall of the heavyweight division. Even though at this point in time it appears to be a short-term deal signed between the two parties, there is reportedly quite a lot of interest from either side to sign him on for a long-term deal. The report has highlighted that there is a possibility of Del Rio that also will be commentating on the Bare Knuckles Fighting Championship sometime in the near future. In December of 2021, he was cleared of all allegations leveled by his ex-girlfriend against him regarding kidnapping and sexual assault. With his reputation no longer in the mud, Del Rio expressed interest in making a return to the WWE, but according to the report, WWE, EM, and Impact Wrestling have no interest in signing him on. Colby Covington bats back Jorge Masvidal cheating accusation. Colby Covington has recently responded to his last opponent, Jorge Masvidal's, allegations that he was cheating during their bout at UFC 272. Gamebred has taken to social media to accuse his once teammate of having poked him in the eye repeatedly during their headline event at UFC 272. The main event saw Covington dominate Masvidal in the matchup and deservedly ended up winning the bout by a commanding unanimous decision. And quite surprisingly, despite the fact that the bout was one-sided, both of the fighters have continued to fight online. Masvidal has been claiming that Chaos was cheating in the bout. Days after the fight, Gamebred went so far as to show damage to his eye on social media, claiming it occurred due to Covington poking his eyes during their fight. Covington took his time to respond to these shocking allegations leveled against him by Jorge Masvidal. He was speaking in an interview and said that he is certainly not impressed by Masvidal's unsubstantiated comments about him cheating. He also went on to say that with Masvidal's statements getting more and more preposterous day by day, it is becoming harder and harder to take his words seriously. That's a wrap for this video. Will we see Ngannou make a quick comeback and defend his title? Or will we see an interim heavyweight champion throughout 2022? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.